Welcome, chemists. Today we are going to be walking through your determination of the ideal gas constant lab. As always, we want to set you up with your safety and making sure that you have all of the necessary materials. So first off, make sure you're wearing your apron, your goggles, and last but not least, you want to make sure that you put on a pair of nitrile gloves before we start handling any chemicals. Again, you can see that I am here in my lab space, as you will be. Again, few reminders: well ventilated area, easy to clean surface, and to make things a little bit easier, and access to a sink is great. Now, want to walk you through the materials and what you will be needing for this particular lab. So the two things that you will need to grab is your Principles of Chemistry equipment set. Again, this is the one that contains things like your balance, weigh boats, graduated cylinders, etc. So you want to grab this bag. The other thing that you want to grab is the Determination of Ideal Gas Law Constant equipment set. It'll look like this. Essentially what you're going to look for is there should be a bag of yeast, some plastic tubing, and this sort of plastic vial. So these are the two pieces of equipment that you're gonna need. And I wanna show you, again, what materials we're gonna use and where to lay it out. Again, what you'll see is that I have a tray here. This is where I'm gonna put all of the chemicals for the lab. I find that to be helpful so that if you spill, everything is self-contained. All right, so let's pull out all of the chemicals and equipment. So again, if we open up this Determination of the Ideal Gas Law equipment set, what you're going to see is you'll have a plastic vial that looks like this, a dropper top that looks like this, like a little white cap. I would go ahead and just put that on top. You're also going to have this line of plastic tubing. We want to set that aside. And you're also going to have a bag of yeast. And we're going to go ahead and put that onto our chemical tray. All right. The other thing that you're going to find, and be careful, it's hard to miss, but there's this little plastic dropper cap. That's going to be in that equipment set as well. We're really going to need this. This is going to go with this guy, this dropper vial. So we also want to hold on to that because that's going to help us to build our gas collection set. So we want to make sure we have that. From your Principles of Chemistry equipment set, what you're going to need is your 50 mil graduated cylinder, so that's the big one. You're also going to need the smaller graduated cylinder, that's the 10 mil, so it looks a little bit like that. You're also going to need the big plastic beaker, the 250 mil beaker, so this guy here. Also, you'll need a weigh boat, so one of these guys, as well as your digital scale, this guy here. All right. The last thing that you're gonna need is hydrogen peroxide. This is actually in your chemistry chemical set 1. The hydrogen peroxide is hard to miss. It's in the brown bottle. So we're also gonna need the hydrogen peroxide. So we're gonna go ahead and set that into our chemical tray. So that's all of the equipment you need. And to be honest, the experiment is fairly straightforward. What can be difficult is actually setting up what we call the gas collection setup. So what I'm going to walk you through next is how to assemble this in terms of tubing, how to read your gas levels, etc. So stick with me. In our next video, we will walk through how to actually set up your gas collection apparatus.